What happens to the world when the most powerful man on the planet loses everything? Welcome to Summed Up, the series where I take a game or piece of game media, summarize it, and then give it back to you. In this one, I go over Injustice: Gods Among Us. Metropolis has been destroyed. Millions are now dead. Batman is interrogating the Joker about a nuke when Superman busts into the room. He begins to interrogate Joker himself. The Joker just taunts him. Batman tries to separate them, but Superman has had enough. He thrusts his hand through the Joker, killing him. Elsewhere, the Justice League are fighting a battle orchestrated by Lex Luthor. Ares, Sinestro, Black Adam, and Doomsday fighting against Superman, Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman in Metropolis. Luthor, Bane, Solomon Grundy, and Catwoman against Cyborg, Nightwing, and Raven in the Watchtower. The second of the two teams is losing, so they call in for Batman's help, but he's on his way to Arkham Asylum to make sure that Luthor didn't buzz him out. But he's too late, the Joker has escaped. Batman makes his way to the Watchtower and helps them defeat Luthor and his cronies. As they're hauling all the villains away, an alarm goes off. Luthor gave the Joker a nuke, and he plans to set it off in Metropolis. Batman makes a call to all the League members to go where the Madman is and teleports there himself. As the Joker goes to push the button, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and Aquaman are all rushing towards him to try and stop him. When suddenly, all of them, except Hawkgirl and The Flash, get teleported. Batman and the Joker find themselves in a different Metropolis. A military force shows up and tries to take Batman into custody, but using his gadgets, the man in the cowl gets away. Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, and Green Arrow find themselves in a different Gotham. They theorize about where they may be, a different timeline, parallel dimension. Green Lantern leaves for Ferris Aircraft to find a power battery and recharge his ring, while Aquaman goes to Atlantis to check out the archives in order to figure out where or when they are. Green Lantern finds Raven and Cyborg torturing Deathstroke in a hangar and interrupts them. Raven states that he's Hal Jordan, but different, and Cyborg points out that he's not their Hal Jordan. They try to arrest him, but are both defeated. Hal frees Deathstroke and is asking him about the situation when Wonder Woman calls him, telling him to get back to Gotham because Sinestro is there, attacking citizens. When Hal turns around, Deathstroke is gone. Back at Gotham, Wonder Woman and Green Arrow are fighting it out with Sinestro. The villain states that he'll be happy to see Green Arrow die again, when Hal blocks his attack. After he beats Sinestro, another Hal Jordan shows up, but this one's a Yellow Lantern. After the Yellow Hal is defeated, Wonder Woman, Green Arrow, and Green Hal leave, and come across a Batman in an alley. Up in the Watchtower, the Cyborg we first saw. For the sake of chronological order, we'll call this Dimension 2. Flash and Superman are trying to figure out what happened to their friends. Aquaman arrives to Dimension 1's Atlantis and heads over to the archives. He asks for information about the surface world's government and is told that they know little about Superman's regime. The Atlantean tells Aquaman that 5 years ago the Joker deceived Superman into killing Lois Lane and his unborn son and destroying Metropolis. Superman in turn killed the Joker. He went on to recruit like-minded individuals and bring down every other criminal. With his popularity and the people yearning for strong leadership, Superman established the One Earth government under his rule. From this point on, due to the fact that everyone from the dimension where Superman is ruler is 5 years older, I'll refer to all the duplicates from it as old, and I'll refer to all the duplicates from the dimension where he hasn't gone insane as young. In the throne room, the Flash and Shazam from Dimension 1 wait for that dimension's Aquaman so they can finalize the negotiations of a treaty between Atlantis and the One Earth government. Upon reviewing that treaty, young Aquaman is enraged. Signing it would put Atlantis under Superman's rule. Both Shazam and Flash attack Aquaman, and once they've been beaten, Atlantean forces pour into the room along with this dimension's Aquaman. During the fight, everyone but young Aquaman becomes frozen. Dimension 1's Ares, the god of war, appears before him and explains that young Aquaman and his colleagues were brought to this dimension by those who oppose old Superman's regime, the insurgents. Ares teleports Aquaman to where the others are. At old Batman's base, Green Arrow drinks a pill that makes him super, for lack of a better term. so that he can withstand a fight against Superman's forces, who have all also taken the pill. There, they learn that this dimension's Lex Luthor has never been a villain, is Superman's best friend and the insurgency's benefactor. Batman explains that the reason why they brought them over to this dimension is because the four of them are needed in order to use a kryptonite weapon that is locked away in the Batcave. Their DNA is needed to unlock it, and they need not worry about the nuke in their dimension. For some reason, their teleportation prevented the explosion. Over at Gotham City, young Batman takes a beating from the Joker. The clown leads him on the street when he sees Yellow Hal approaching, who, along with this dimension's Hawkgirl, takes Batman into custody. After they leave, this dimension's Harley Quinn appears and attacks the Joker for impersonating, well, the Joker. Her Joker, I mean. After a fight, Harley realizes that this really is the Joker, or at least a real Joker, and accepts him as her Joker. In a prison, Batman is unmasked as Superman arrives to interrogate him and realizes that he's not his Batman. In this dimension's Arkham Asylum, Joker is giving a speech to rally Harley's cronies. They've gotten their hands on Superman's super pills, and now Joker wants to take the fight to him. Suddenly, Superman's forces, led by Hawkgirl and this dimension's Nightwing, bust through a wall and begin attacking everyone in the room, and Harley activates a bat signal. Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, and old Batman arrive on the scene soon after and immediately start attacking Superman's forces. Noticing that they're outnumbered, Hawkgirl and Nightwing retreat. After Superman's forces have been subdued, the Joker tells the others that young Batman was taken. Green Hal says that they have to rescue him, but old Batman replies that the only way to rescue him is to complete their mission. At Gotham, Aquaman, Green Arrow, Green Hal, Wonder Woman, and Batman are breaking into Wayne Manor, which was sealed off by old Superman. In the Batcave, they find a suitcase and place their hands on scanners in order to open it. Inside, there's a gun that can fire a kryptonite beam that should incapacitate Superman, but as they get ready to leave, the cave is infiltrated by old Black Adam and Wonder Woman. A fight breaks out, our heroes win, but the gun is damaged beyond repair in the fight. Back at the Watchtower in Dimension 2, young Cyborg, Flash, and Superman have figured out where the others were teleported to, and have repurposed Flash's treadmill to act as a teleporter to bring them back. But something goes wrong, and instead of bringing the others back from Dimension 1, Cyborg gets teleported there. He finds himself in the Insurgency's base where he hears old Luthor and Deathstroke, who's now working for Luthor, making plans to take down old Superman. Thinking they're talking about his Superman, Cyborg attacks them. Old Batman and the others arrive and get him to stop, but not before he gave old Deathstroke and Luthor a beating. Old Superman makes a public announcement saying that they have captured Batman, the leader of the insurgency, and will be executing him that day at Stryker's Island for his crimes. The group decides that rescuing young Batman is their #1 priority. Cyborg and Deathstroke go to infiltrate Dimension 1's watchtower so they can use the teleporter to beam them all out of the island. While at the Hall of Justice, the only place on Earth from which you can teleport to the watchtower, Cyborg gets attacked by old Cyborg. What ensues is the weirdest and funniest looking battle in the whole game, while both cyborgs do their best to hack the other. It's like something out of 1995's Hackers, but with holograms instead of keyboards. So they decide to do it for real, like men. And with old Cyborg down, young Cyborg and Deathstroke make it to the watchtower. Deathstroke goes off on his own and comes across old Flash and Shazam. Shazam is telling Flash that he's having doubts about the way Superman is running things. Deathstroke incapacitates Flash, beats Shazam, and starts a meltdown in the Watchtower's reactor in order to take out command and control. Luthor calls the Watchtower to tell Deathstroke to get some prototype technology from Ferris Industries that will allow him to re-weaponize the kryptonite. Back on Earth, Aquaman makes a frontal assault on Batman's execution site to serve as a distraction while the others infiltrate it. All Batman and Green Arrow are intercepted by Catwoman and Nightwing. While fighting Green Arrow, Nightwing tells him that he's not Dick Grayson. Batman jumps in and tells Green Arrow that this dimension's Nightwing is Damian Wayne, his son, who took up the mantle after he killed Dick Grayson and is now pretty much disowned by his father. Yeah, killing family members will kinda get you into that spot. With them taken care of, they finally find a beat up young Bruce Wayne. Once outside, they're supposed to be teleported out by Cyborg, but he can't do anything because they're still within the building's teleportation dampener. Old Superman spots them and flies in to intercept. They jump off a cliff, getting them out of the dampener's field and are teleported out. Superman figures out their plan and flies up to the watchtower, only to have it blow up in his face. Back on Earth, Luthor is finishing preparations for his face-off with Superman. Once in Metropolis, Joker tells old Harley to get Luthor out of the suit so he can take it over. She fails and Joker fires her and proceeds to kill her. Luthor intervenes and beats the Joker. A pissed off Harley moves in to kill the Joker, but Luthor gets her to stop. He gets ready to take out Superman, but is attacked by Shazam and is then struck by Superman, who proceeds to rip Luthor out of his suit and strangle him. In a meeting, Superman and his subordinates plan to destroy Metropolis and Gotham as a lesson to the insurgency, and to go to Dimension 2 and destroy their world as payback for interfering. Shazam voices complaints about the plan, saying that it's going too far, there have to be limits. Superman then kills him for insubordination. Everyone but old Flash and Yellow Hal leave, and Flash tells Hal that Shazam was right. This isn't what they signed up for, and he is done. Hal tries to stop him, but is beaten, and the Flash escapes. He makes his way to the insurgency's base, where he explains Superman's plans to them. Old Batman says that their plan failed, so he's sending all the duplicates back to their dimension and destroying the transporter. Young Batman says that there's another thing they could do: bring their Superman over. Old Batman turns down the plan, saying that one Superman per dimension is enough, when a wall explodes and Superman's forces start pouring in. Mid-battle, Wonder Woman is teleported to Themyscira by Ares, where he shows her that the entire Amazon army is under Superman's command. She goes down to the pier and both Wonder Woman get in a fight for supremacy. Once young Wonder Woman defeats old Wonder Woman, she takes over the Amazon army as their leader. Over at Metropolis, both armies are locked in battle, with the insurgency on the losing side. While that's going on, both Batmen get into a literal fight over what to do: send back the duplicates or bring young Superman over. Young Batman convinces old Batman to trust him, and old Batman teleports Superman over to Dimension 1. With Superman on their side, the tide begins to turn in favor of the insurgency. Just as things are looking up, Doomsday shows up and attacks Superman. But Superman takes the fight to Dimension 1's Fortress of Solitude and throws Doomsday into the Phantom Zone. With that done, old Superman finally appears. They duke it out, and young Superman manages to overpower and defeat old Superman. Old Batman states that there's been enough killing, and all the heroes and villains that served Superman are arrested. Even Flash, who changed sides in the end, but understood that doing that didn't erase his actions and he had to pay for them. As for Superman, he's placed in a red sunlight prison to await trial. So that's what happens after the Man of Steel loses everything and goes off his rocker. Although, in his shoes, do you think you'd react all that differently? Click that like button if you liked the video, subscribe if you really liked it, follow me on Twitter for updates, the link is in the description. As always, I'm Felix, I'll see y'all next time.